But we'll take any questions on that.
Questions for the group?
Yeah.
Lisa made mention about the child protection documents. I'm not 100% familiar with that. Of course, I've been out of leadership in my club a little bit. Is it like a background check for, like for SLED or something?
Yeah.
Right, right. And each club really should have a child protection officer,
Okay.
and probably they do, but it might need to be updated if that person has left the club.
And who's going through that background check?
That child protection officer in those,
Okay.
those clubs. Is
Okay, so if you have if you have a youth exchange counselor or officer in your club already, is that one and the same?
Not necessarily. It could vary.
So
Each member of your club is affected.
And when a new
Yeah.
member joins,
Wow.
then even during the year, you're supposed to run that background check.
So before you
do it
induct,
before you do it.
Before you
induct them, and then you have to run it against the whole club once a year. In Spring Valley, it's done by the membership chair.
What's the website? I went to.
I think you can go to SLED's website.
On the form itself.
I think I
Page
went to
73 in your book.
Okay.
Okay, page 7.
It's the sex offenders registry
Yeah.
for SLED.
yes, sir.
You know, do each of your clubs, it's not a criminal investment background.
No, it's not slate.
After the fact, or is all your billing done in prepay?
I had a change with one of my clubs this year. Most my clubs now are all billing quarterly. All 5 of my clubs do the same way. They bill quarterly, and they bill for the coming quarter.
So in advance.
I had one club that was doing it in the arrears, but they had a really hard time making their foundation contributions and collecting funds for people who dropped out of clubs. So they've changed now, and they do it in advance now. So all 5 of mine now have changed to do it in advance.
All mine are prepaid as well. All of mine are quarterly. If there's a holiday party or something, they're going to bill after the fact, typically for them.
Other questions from these folks? The idea is to tap their experience. That question sounds a good time. Rob, I got a question. Everybody in this room probably knows the answer except me. Do the clubs pay the district for pets registration, or is that paid by individual clubs each year? In the dues,
No, it is not in the dues.
Clubs pay individually for who attends. And in some clubs, the individual president-elect pays. In some clubs, the club pays. But it's not included in the club's dues that they pay the district. What about, is that a possibility to change that, billing each club every year the cost of that pet? That way, hey, you guys have already paid, send your member. Just an idea.
It is certainly an idea that needs to be addressed by the district finance committee, yes.
In that vein, Rob, you didn't say it when you were talking about this, but PETS is required, right? I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
The Rotary International Manual Procedure says that to accept the office of president, one must attend PETS and assembly in the year just prior to ascending to office. That is not a district rule. It's Rotary International rule. But it is a rule. It's in the manual procedure.
So your repeat presidents who say, well, I went last year, sorry, you've got to come this year as well.
Right.
That's just that.
No, even if you're
so you're not the one requiring them to go.
No.
Your district governor's not the one requiring them to go. It's part of the manual procedure. Now, if they cannot, for some reason, come to February 23rd and 24th, then alternative pets are available. Okay? Every alternative pet that I'm aware of is longer and more expensive than the one we do. Plus, The only person who can approve their attendance at an alternative pets is the district governor-elect. I can't do that, you can't do that, their board cannot do that. David's the only one that can do that.
So if there was someone like that, they would want to get that approval before they registered for that other pets. Right.
The
North
issue
Carolina
is some of the events get very crowded. And so we need to make sure there's room in that other pet.
Well, they only work for breakfast lunch.
Other question?
I have one more question. Turning in your district grant, hopefully by pet, does your other grant have to be closed out to do that? Okay, I knew it did in May, but I didn't know. Okay, it has to be closed.
By the way, Carl, back on,
On this, I thought,
By June,
Yeah, just by the year end, not by the time they submit.
right, it's 30
Okay, so we
days.
can submit, go ahead and submit, and then
Yeah,
unless it's done. I mean,
unless it's done.
it's not done. We've got one more spending, but it won't be done by pet. So go ahead and submit our grant for next year and just close it out as soon as we're finished.
The closing report is due 30 days after the grant's over, right? When you
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah,
Okay.
I email out a notice, which totally after the event. I know I should have everybody do. Just a reminder that it's due, and then I will do one every 6 days or so. Make a phone call, make sure I have the right name. But the president, one thing you might tell them, they should have put in accurate information. Like, if they're doing a Santa shoe shopping, and they say the project ends in October, they probably didn't buy the shoes or anything yet. So I'm already asking and looking for receipts that, so that's a helpful hint for them.
back to your question about who has to attend pets. There are you're going to run into some folks out there who are going to say, well, I've been president before. We had a situation like that, I know, in Lisa's area this year. So I don't really have to go to that. That's not true. We have a past district governor who will be attending pets. Okay? 2 of them, I guess.
Well, one's gonna be attending it.
One of mine.
Yeah, one's
One of mine was a former assistant governor.
So, you see what I'm saying? So, and those folks have to be there too. They have to be there in the year.
Can I add to that? I mean, how to handle that is, when you were president, they didn't have Rotary.org probably, and you didn't understand how important to run that citation. Also, it's probably called the presidential citation, and now it's called the Rotary citation. Do you know that? You know, more likely not, but
There's a lot of good reasons for them to be there.
Other questions? Well, we're delighted you're here. We hope that we provided benefit to your being part.